Hola and welcome everybody to Monday Night Fire Shrike episode 67, Ways and Means Part 2. And I'm going to, instead of me starting this out, James is going to, Ezzy is going to start us out here. So Ezzy, what is Ezzy's sort of perspective on change, and what does this look like? How does this presented visually as we talk about Ezzy's perspective of change coming out of season 2?
Well, this is probably a rather somber one. We start with a few artistic shots of just a door frame, and then it opens, but then we cut to a different angle so that it's right over the top as we just see him walk in. I don't know if I mentioned this, but now that he's quit dyeing his hair, it's now just a stark black. And he's on the Spitfire now, his ship, walking towards the captain's chair. And who did we say pilots the ship? Is it Qualu?
I think Qualu is at the moment. Although Tavis has ranks too, it could be anybody. Rek has ranks in piloting too, so it's just whoever you guys feel
Qualu.
Like. All right.
Yeah. Walking over to the helmsman's chair and putting a hand on the back of the chair and looking out over space as we see it unfocuses from the back of his head and focuses on his reflection in the glass or the screen or whatever, and the starry scape behind or beyond. It's like, change used to mean something to me. A good kind of change.
And I'm the emo one.
Oh, be quiet.
Emo later.
The good, a change that made the universe move. How stars were formed from dust. How worlds were formed from rock. And how it could all tumble down and come back again. I thought I could do that. But 6 months has been trying. And it's now that I've realized that those 6 months made all the difference. Change. You don't pick what it does. The change makes you. Whether or not you live with it. Whether or not you step aside from the tumbling train or let it run you over.
Okay, I need to quit my D&D career because I suck at this. I am suddenly convinced that I'm out of my element, Donnie. I can't compete with this shit.
That is the measure of a man. And I won't be found wanting. And then Brizzy says turns his head towards the camera and it cuts.
Oh boy.
Awesome. And that's where we drop in the Fire Shrike logo.
It's nice going, you guys. I'm gonna go now.
No, you can't go yet. Because we're starting with Drea and Lysen from this point.
Okay.
So you guys have caught a ride. You guys have managed. You and your partners have managed to catch up with Captain Jacaraz, right? And he's got you. You guys you've taken off. You're heading towards Pluvo, and you've already made it to Pluvo. In fact, maybe that's where we come in, is we are following the Death Hammer as the Death Hammer flies in to Pluvo and lands, and we see the four of you disembark as you follow out on in the probably one of the busier ports in the sector. And I think Captain Masala is the one that's turns and looks to you as you guys disembark and says, well, if we're going to find anybody from if we're going to find any of our fellows from the refugees, this is probably going to be where we'll find them. We need to find a place to stay while we're in town, and then we need to figure out what our next move is. Captain Save or Corporal Savase and I, we're gonna go secure lodgings and see what we can't dig up. Corporal Lysin, why don't you go see if what you can dig up? See if you can't find any of our people around here. Getting a lay of the land.
Oh, I guess I'll start in the dive bars of the port. They're always good for info.
Okay, right on. And Captain Masal says, looks at you and he says, "Well, good luck, soldier. We'll keep in contact with you. We'll call you in, say, 4 standard, galactic packed standard hours. See what you've come up with. Keep you posted on finding accommodations." Says, "Good luck." And they turn and
You too, Cap.
Yeah, and they turn and walk off, and the scene is yours.
So Drea's.
Yeah, and
Okay.
unless Dre had decided to follow them.
Well,
Or does
I
her own
don't
thing.
actually remember what I ended on.
You were kind of like had made an agreement to help them because they're going to help you out about your path.
Okay.
That was kind of the last spot with you'd kind of like talked a little bit with like Captain Masal and Lysin a bit. Well, Savase was doing recon and standing guard and what have you.
Oh yeah, I decided to go do the recon.
Yeah, you're like, and that was on the last place you were at,
Okay.
on Glumpucket. You guys did the recon.
Oh.
But it was after you guys were done doing the recon, you guys kind of kept, after Lysin found Jakara's, you met up and you had a bit of time that you talked with them. And basically they said, "I don't remember who I am, and they informed you that the place that you guys got chased out of, where they found you, was a place called Site 87.
Okay. So we're back. That's done.
Yeah, you're on Pluvo now. You flew off Glumpucket and got to Pluvo because Glumpucket's a little out of the way.
Okay, so what is everyone else doing?
Captain Masal and Corporal Savase are going to go find accommodations, and Lysin has been sent to find out information, see if they can find out anything about the other refugees from their people, or and find out the lay of the land.
I'd like to try to do that.
Okay, so you're gonna go with
information.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah. Yeah, so you're gonna go check out some dive bars. There's a few bars in the area. There's a few dive bars in various areas. Near the starport. Sorry, near the starport.
No dying.
I know. I'm trying not to. Trying not to. But there is a Bort's Booze and Bitches near here. There's also a place. There's also a place called the Burned Bastard that seems very popular too.
Sounds terrible.
No, it's the best bar in town.
Okay, which one do you want to go to?
Roll a 1d2.
Seriously?
Flips a coin. Too bad it's a two-headed coin.
Oh, I got 2. Look at that.
So you're going to the burner?
There you go. So you're going to the Burned Bastard then?
I guess so.
Guess that's where we're going.
All right. You go in, and the place is full of what look like a significant amount of ne'er-do-wells. There's some, people who look like they're just, freebooters and whatnot, captains of, transport ships and what have you. But there is a criminal element here, and there is, the music is fairly. First thing you notice is that the music, is sort of that you'll hear some stuff that's pro corporate, kind of like very corporate produced, pro corporate kind of stuff, real shallow. But then you'll hear another song that's like something like somebody will play this Ezzy Soravel's song Oblivion that the sort of like the revolutionaries have taken up, but nobody like whoever puts it on is usually somebody who is either looks mean enough that nobody wants to bother him, or is discreet enough that nobody realizes who it was that put it on. Because this place isn't corporate. The Pluvo is not corporate controlled, but they've kind of managed to keep a neutral thing going. But there are sympathizers for the Tabora Union, Tabora United, and sympathizers for corporate. So this place is a little bit,
It's a little bit of everything.
It's a little bit of everything out here on the frontier. But there is there's a human bartender behind the bar serving
Not
drinks.
a Kasathan?
A human?
No.
How strange.
Not a Kasathan, no. Hey, humans can still flare too.
Yeah, they can.
They're just not as impressive with it. Kind of looking around. What's your move as you get in here? You can
go up to the bar and get a drink.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
See if Drea wants one.
All right. Yeah.
This character is straight edge. She's not listening.
I'm trying to decide how to respond. It's hard to figure out how I want to play her. Like, I've been winging it.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, just think about it. Most of the people on Zai's crew have one sort of dependency or another, and just like in the real world, alcoholism is the one that's most acceptable.
Go sit in the corner, polish your bowstring, and go, pathetic.
Yes, that is the true answer.
It's like you guys are implying that she's an elf or something.
No,
James
we're
wants her to
implying
be
that
an elf
she's the
so he
edgy
can
ranger.
hit on her. Yeah, that's
Alright.
true.
Fine. I'll be soaky and lonely in the corner. Give me a whiskey.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Whiskey to drown your sorrows.
So
That's
it's
what
gonna
Lacey's ordering. Is like the hardest whiskey they got.
Yeah. Oh
You're-
well, the hardest whiskey they've got is quite surprisingly a you would think it'd be like of orcish or dwarfish origin, but it's actually a gnomish whiskey.
Oh.
It's called
No, I'm
grape
afraid.
scotch.
I've
You know-
never had gnomish whiskey.
Yeah.
You know, we use gnomish whiskey in a campaign that I have all of the time. So this is very nice. I'm very happy about this.
It's
Very-
fine.
Made of
Octane.
motor oil.
Why am I drawn to this? What?
No, seriously.
Why am I drawn to this campaign? Oh, this last couple episodes, we're gonna drink gnomish whiskey. That's the only reason I'm here.
Nomus whiskey. Gotta say it right. Nomus
I
whiskey.
already had one.
Shira?
That's why I'm saying it like that.
Hard.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's called Pebblebrook whiskey.
Oh, there you are.
See?
Okay, everything's fine.
None of us can hear, or none of us can say it right. God damn it, words.
Yeah, but it's a gnomish whiskey called Pebblebrook whiskey.
Write that down.
But
Hold on.
I just did because I want to remember it. Yeah.
We're missing a phrase here.
Okay, Dan
And-
Wilder.
Words are hard.
Lyson, are you? Words are. Lyson, you're getting it's about 8 credits for for 2 Pebblebrook whiskeys.
That's not bad.
And you are kind of there. Would you like to make some culture rolls to see if you can find out anything here?
Culture?
If you're getting the lay of the land.
Let's see.
That giggle was adorable.
It was.
Door.
It is. Like culture? Really?
Well. Wow, exactly
Hey,
the
I blame
same.
the
We
whiskey.
ain't found shit.
Well, that's
I've been
great.
watching that all month.
Maybe got a local rumor or two, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
get like
You guys must look like narcs.
Let me get another shot of whiskey and I'll try again.
I mean, how many people trust bird ladies?
I still haven't shown my wings off.
you know, they are
You
they
just
are
got
kind
that
of
air about you,
keeping-
but Tish.
Yeah.
No, I got a military air about me.
Yeah, and it's true. But you're kind of doing your thing, and maybe we get like we get that thing where we're looking at the bar, and we're kind of like we get like the look of Lyson sitting at the bar, kind of like listening to conversations and trying to hear people, and then the camera shifts and does that blurry thing as it goes and shifts over to Drea sitting in the corner, looking across, trying to listen in for conversations, and then we do that thing where the whole camera tilts like it almost does a 180 in the entire bar, and then we see somebody else very familiar. We see a rat. We see a very famous rat.
You dirty rat. You
We
dirty
see-
rat.
Technically, he's a mouse, but I'll allow it.
Technically, he's a mouse.
You're a frog.
But
Shut up.
we
Alright, what's
see
up?
you. But we see Slef. You are out getting ready to leave the Burn Bastard. You have just had your conversation with Isig, where he kind of told you where Ezele, Soraval, and the Spitfire are going.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're kind of walking down the stairs, you notice a couple of newcomers come in. Both of them seem to be fairly heavily cloaked to try to hide something about themselves. This is not terribly unusual in a place full of
Yeah.
criminals or whatnot.
Yeah.
But you see these people as you're like walking down the steps and getting ready to leave. One of them goes up to the bar. They both go up to the bar. One of them gets One of them gets a couple of drinks, and the other one retires to a corner. And
Oh, and my glaive is sitting up against the bar.
Yep.
Since I have no other place to put it.
Maybe I make a comment as I'm walking down. Oh, but they can have a fucking weapon out, but I can't have a grenade in my. You know what? Pour me a whiskey for the road.
yeah, the bartender kind of walks over. He's like,
I'm a loud, boisterous person. I'm not trying to make my presence hidden.
When did they allow
no.
rodents into a place like this?
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
Both of you, by the way, both of you recognize the picture of the so-called black rat Slef from the news feeds that you've seen.
I look directly at the Strix and I go, huh, hope nobody gets feathers in their drinks. I hear birds carry a bunch of diseases, dick. And then I just grab my drink.
I stand up and turn around and look at it, at this thing.
Yeah, and it is.
You have a fucking problem?
I think I'm looking at it.
Slef leans back and goes. Slef leans back, looks at the bartender with like one of those like, "You seeing this shit?" like sort of looks, and then like looks back and is like, "Nice to meet you. I might shoot you. What the fuck's your problem then?"
I don't like loudmouths. They remind me of few people.
Loudmouse.
Ha! Loudmouse. Slef's like, "Yeah, I don't like brooding, mysterious folk. They remind me of certain people."
Brooding, mysterious. That's the best you got.
You caught me on
Coming
an
from
off
the
day,
bottom.
lady.
You caught me in an off week.
Are we just gonna go tit to tat? Are we gonna have a normal conversation? Or are you just going to shut the fuck up so I can leave without having to waste 3 people in this bar? I
The
really
bartender
don't want to get
looks
my
up.
shoes dirty.
The bartender looks up and he goes, clears his throat, and he points at a sign that says, it just simply says, "Take it the fuck outside."
Okay,
No.
fine. Do I need to make the street cleaners week even worse than both of our weeks? Because they don't get paid a lot. I would know.
No, Jesta.
You really think you can take me on, rat boy?
Take it outside,
What
Slep.
the
Take it
fuck
outside.
did you just call me?
The sign
Rat
says
boy.
no disintegrations.
From my
Yeah.
table, I'm just take a shot, and I'm like, I think you said
Ironically,
rat boy.
Slep does have a
Alright.
should have a
So-
disintegration pistol, actually.
So Slef looks at you and goes, "Listen, I killed someone today. Do you think I have a problem killing you too?"
I killed 3 platoons worth of Hell Knights a week ago. Do you think I have a problem killing you?
Oh, so we have a common enemy. Cool. They can laugh at your corpse or my corpse. Let's go outside, take a walk. How's that sound?
PvP. PvP.
I motion after you, and I grab my glaive.
By the
look
way,
at- oh, go
Slef,
ahead.
you recognize what type of glaive it is.
Uh-huh.
It's the same type of glaive that you made for Nahir,
It's the
but
meteor
it's not the
glaive.
same. It's not this. Yeah, it's a meteor glaive. It's not
Yeah.
obviously not the same. You're pretty sure you put a lot more bells and whistles on
Oh,
it,
yeah.
or different bells and whistles anyway. But you recognize the type of weapon that this person is carrying, so you know kind of how dangerous the weapon can be.
Yeah. Alright. So, yeah, Slef's just gonna fucking walk outside and,
I was there. I'd still put money on Slep right now.
he's gonna walk outside and, yeah, he's gonna fucking pull out what weapon? He'll pull out his,
Are you gonna get into your brawler frame or your
I'm in
power
my
armor
brawler frame.
first?
I've been in my power armor. I don't.
It's a little too big to get in the bar.
Yeah,
Well, then
last
how did I
time
do the
he
grenade thing?
Okay, because I figured you were carrying a grenade.
No, I
he
was. I
specifically
had
brought up it was in his power armor.
my power armor.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay. Yeah.
They could have a
ahead.
big door. It's a big door bar. They serve
Yeah.
big people.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm a
Go
small
ahead, go ahead.
creature. Assume it has a double door. You know.
Best need to get in somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I walk outside and I look around. Are there any people on the main thoroughfare that this thing is located on?
Actually, give me a perception check, and this is
Oh, my
mostly because I want
specialty.
to, because I want to see if you notice anything happening in the.
Perception. Okay, I do have my +2. from
If
my
you're too,
team.
if you're too into, no, it's not a hard perception check. That's good enough.
Yeah. What?
I was just making sure you weren't too into your little
Oh yeah.
your thing here to notice
Oh,
this.
I get you.
But, You actually recognize Captain Jacaraz, the Vest captain, who is also a free captain that was also on the Shadow of Ever.
I've
that
met
you've
him.
had- Yes,
I've
you've
drank
met him.
with him.
You've met him a couple of times.
Yeah, I've drank
'cause you
with
met
this guy.
the first. I don't think you've drank with him, but you met him for the first time you met him was on the moon of Perth, where you guys were the job you walked away from in the Tabori cluster initially.
Mm-hmm.
But you've also met him periodically here and there. He works as a mercenary in these outskirt systems.
What, is he just outside?
Well, he and his crew are actually heading to the Bort's Booze and Bitches. They just happen to be walking by about this point.
Oh, I'll give him a friendly, hey, what's up, Captain Jackie?
He kind of turns around and looks over at you, and his eyes narrow for a
Give him
second.
a big smile.
Yeah, I think he walks over and just kind of in that casual, I guess since I've seen you, I have to talk to you now kind of way.
Yeah.
And he kind of was like, he looks at you for a second and he goes, awful brave with your with the price on your head to be walking around openly around here.
Yeah, what can I say? I really just don't care anymore. You know, I'm actually about to get into a street fight. You want to watch?
He
I just
turns
got
around and
this giant grin on my face.
he turns around and he looks at Lyson and Drea and he chuckles and he goes, kind of chuckles and he goes, isn't that ironic? Hey, I got you here. You paid me the credits. I don't care what you do on Pluvo. He says,
Right,
looking at them.
You know her?
Yeah, yeah. They paid she and her friends paid for transport here.
Oh. Have they already paid up front?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Right on. Don't want to cut your margins, bud.
He just he looks at you and he's like, he goes, don't worry, you're not.
Yeah.
He says, by the way, where's your captain?
You know, I've been trying to answer that question for a couple weeks, well, months myself. That's kind of what this whole thing is about. Not the street fight. This lady just decided to make some rude fucking comments to me. So, you know, face on her and all that shit, but...
Because you don't know when to shut your yap up.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm talking to a friend, okay? And I, turn back and I'm like, sorry about that. Yeah, Captain's gone fucking missing. Didn't you hear about the shadow? Everything just kind of got fucked.
I was there.
Oh, shit. Didn't you know everything got fucked? We all got kind of split away. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know where anybody ended up, would you?
Not a clue. Hear rumors here and there, but nothing solid. I haven't run into the Fire Shrike in a good long time. I hear the council back home is interested in what happened, though. They apparently some sort of moves regarding it, but I don't know what they're doing. A little disconnect out here.
Yeah. It's like, well, if you find anything, and I give him my card or what, I airdrop him my contact information. I'm like, feel free to give me a shout, or if you're needing a good engineer until you know, I don't really have a shit. Hey, if I kill these two, is your ship open?
He says, my ship is open if you don't kill those two. We're a little flush right now. We can afford to take a few jobs at lower rates.
Well, I don't really have much in the way of solid goods, but you know I'm a damn good engineer. I can make you pretty much anything you want. Anyway, you could give me a lift out somewhere in exchange for some sort of services. I'll mercenary for you, freelance. You know, put a big gun in my hands and I'll lay some motherfuckers down. You know what I'm saying?
Where do you need to go?
Where was it I needed to go again? It was
Isaac told you that he heard relatively reliable rumors that the captain was at a penal colony 1187.
Yeah.
Or at least had been seen there.
I need to head out to penal colony 117.
87.
118 or 187?
1187, yeah.
1187. Yeah, I need to head out to penal
Or he
colony.
derails, he ends up somewhere, the princess is in another castle.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to head out to penal colony 1187. I'm hot on the trails of some of my former, I guess, fellow crew, but hopefully not former for long.
Maybe they'll have a bed for you.
I got a fucking bed. What is with the mouth on this bitch? Jesus Christ!
Oh!
He's like, yeah, I think Jakara just kind of seems to find this whole thing a bit amusing.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll send you the information where I'm docked. When I'm leaving, if you still have an interest, we'll talk. And he says,
So
we'll work something
I'm
out.
not supposed to kill them.
He says, I don't care what you do.
Oh.
and he kind of like
PvP.
he kind of he's like, if you don't mind, we're gonna go get a few drinks.
Hell yeah, we'll have a good time at Bort's, brother.
He kind of nods. He's like, and he and his crew kind of make their way off. I think there's like a, yeah, they kind of make their way over to Boards. He kind of nods and he like takes it out his comm pad real quick and drops you a line as to where they're docked at.
Sick. I check my comm pad and then I turn around. I'm like, all right, and like you hear like all of my servos like start to like loosen up and like get kind of set. It's almost like a knuckle cracking effect, you know, just like. All right, so where were we again? Actually, question. Who even are you? Like, what is your deal?
There is a crowd starting to form, by the way, at this
Gosh.
point.
Gorge.
Just a traveler looking for people.
And trouble, apparently?
Well, my captain always says trouble finds me.
You're the one who fucking said some shit to... You started this!
You have the loud mouth.
I didn't say shit to you. I was on my way out. You just had to call me a fucking rat.
Well, I mean, you are
Looks like a rat, acts like a
Reyes
rat,
say that?
must be a rat.
yeah, I said that for him.
Alright.
He looks and is like,
Click,
Hey!
click.
oh, by the way, who the fuck are you?
You talking to me, right? Not my friend.
I was talking to Drea.
No, me. Because
Yeah.
I'm just being a smartass from the corner table.
Yeah. Well, we're outside at this point.
Oh, well, fine.
Tell you what, little rat man, we'll make this an even fight. We'll just use fists.
That's not exactly an even fight for me, friendo. I don't know if you've noticed, but you're kind of taller than me.
You're in power armor.
You're in power armor. It evens it up a little bit.
Let me check one thing real quick. I'm like, I'm not trained in hand-to-hand. I'm a mechanic who makes guns, really big ones.
Well, then you know how to use your hands.
Yeah, I know how to use my hands to... I'm not fighting you in a fist fight. What are we, fucking barbarians? Not a fucking savage.
Listen here, since when does a lady offer you to actually do a fist fight with her?
You know what? I'm also not too big into domestic abuse. So, you know, I'm not a fan of any of this. I'll
Don't
shoot
worry,
you.
my
I don't
loved
wanna
one
hit you in the
passed
fucking
away.
knees, though.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to do a shooting fest, okay.
This is the point where, like, the crowd is getting bigger, and we start hearing law enforcement heading.
Breaker 5-3.
Like,
You know
yeah,
what? I got places to be, and I would prefer to not be caught by the police at this moment.
uh,
Want to table this one? We're apparently going to be on the same ship here shortly.
Oh.
I don't know if you noticed,
Yeah.
but I have at minimum a 50,000 credit on my head. Credit
How much?
bounty on my head.
Oh.
Oh. Well.
So, you know, I'd prefer to not be caught by police. Now, if you want to try and kill me and take that bounty, we can
Gives
do
a-
that. But we're
gives
going
a
to be on
side
the ship
glance.
doing it.
Just like.
alright.
50,000 credits.
A lot of
Yeah.
credits.
That could almost replace a ship we lost.
Yeah, could. You're not
I'll go
going to
outside.
get it, though.
I'll go outside. I'm
Like,
like, I'll split it with you.
Left like pops a grenade out of his chest, and he's like, "You're not gonna get that bounty easily. I've got insurance on top of insurance."
And you recognize it in the power armor he's wearing, because you are a soldier, Lyson.
Spellweave,
Yes.
actually.
Yeah.
Not brawler, it's spellweave, which is the highest I
Ooh.
can make at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You
it's
think that little thing's gonna hurt me?
spellweave is pretty fucking powerful. Oh, you're talking about the grenade? Like,
Yeah, I'm talking about the grenade.
It's a tier 3 fragmentation grenade, specially made a la Slef Labs. I have seen weaker men be turned into paste by these.
Huh.
Well, they don't know how to fight.
Well, he's like, well, I've seen fighters get real fucked up by these too. Basically, you don't go putting your dick in a hornet's nest, and I'm the hornet.
And this is where we cut
Too
scene.
bad I don't have one.
Wow.
we
Why
cut
we
scene
cutting out?
like-
Us getting good.
because we'll come back to it. That's a perfect break-off point. Let's cut scene. I want to catch up with somebody else for a second. Ezzy and Tavis, you guys have managed to make your way to Penal Colony 1187. There is a fairly decent defense around this. How are you going to go about confirming the rumors you've heard, or confirming or undermining the rumors you've heard and finding information? How are you going to do this here?
The first thing I do is I probably look to whoever's on like science or sensors.
Mm-hmm.
Probably you, Tavis.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm like, is there any transmissions coming out from the station?
Jesta, can you roll me a computer roll, I guess?
Okay. I don't take you doing it. Oh, I can probably do that. Let me find Tavis here real quick, because I found his logs. There he is. Open up. There you go. Character sheet. And the computer roll. Let's see. Let's pull this over here so I can see the actual roll when it pops up.
Yeah, I'm still laughing at the whole slap scene.
Blake's like, I demand you turn him in.
Nice.
Tavis, there have been a lot of communications going on here. There's been a lot of communication from the Hell Knights, talking about extradition of a prisoner. There has been a lot of stuff about there is of course like transmission logs of prisoners on intake and what have you. Because of what this place is, there are a few prisoner intake logs. You're going to have to do some real hardcore stuff to be able to. You're going to have to make another roll to get into security files to see if you can get any actual names.
Make it so, number one.
And this one's going to be a little harder because some of them are actually even further classified. So we're talking see if you can make the 35 required to get a few names out of here.
I would need like a 19.
Ah.
Oh, Jai. Yeah. By the way, what is Tavis's like net icon look like? Like
Net
what it
icon?
like when he's hacking? What does his net icon look like?
Oh, it's like a very basic one. He doesn't put too much on how things look. Do the net icons usually look like people?
Your avatar can look like pretty much whatever.
It's just a faceless robot.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Like floating, it floats above the ground and have legs.
The
Yeah.
Facebook default profile picture.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, pretty much.
has anyone here seen the original Tron?
Yeah.
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 Bit. It's one of those. Yes. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see your avatar floating in like the information sphere, and you're able to get like just enough to know that there are communication logs and there are security logs and whatnot, but you're not able to get into the actual prisoner files. You get rebuffed. And as a matter of fact,
We all die.
I actually need to check something here real quick because they do have some sort of countermeasures here. Make me well, I guess I'm going to have to do that for you. And problem with the, damn it.
All the things.
See if you are able to you know you tripped an alarm.
I execute Tavis for his incompetency.
Just, you incompetent fool. You will not fail me again.
Just
Can't
fatal
fail
force
again if
trap.
they're dead.
Apology. I do have psycho whatever strangulation, so I literally can.
God
God, he's like, hey, I wanted to be able to Darth Vader somebody.
It wasn't what I was thinking at the time, but it works out.
Modules, let's see.
Apology accepted, Commander.
Yeah. So I need to see if yeah, let's see. Feedback. Let's see. I get the computers here. Nope. That's not good enough. Actually, what it looks like is it looks like you have access, and you're pulling on like maybe your avatar is like interfacing with stuff, like maybe punching things like buttons and whatnot, and looks like he's scrolling through like information and whatnot. But as far as it goes, it's just garbage information. But you do get something over the communications from the penal colony within minutes. This is penal colony 1187. Unidentified ship, stand down. We have called for local law enforcement entities. Your attempts to access our computer system have been recorded and noted. And you're in violation of
I'm
penal
going
code,
to-
blah 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 blah.
You are in violation of Article 13.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to step in this time, take the comms, and I'm going to be like, that is unnecessary, penal colony. There's been a change of schedule, and we have come for the prisoner to be extradited by the Hell Knights. We are a private interest working alongside them. I'm sure you understand.
We've told your people time and again we are not extraditing that prisoner. There is
And
no
why
way
not?
there is no way said prisoner will gain a fair trial under the Hell Knights. You have no legal authority here.
Trying to think. Surely you understand that the Hell Knights wish to prosecute these criminals to the fullest extent of their law. And
Yes.
they're not ones to take, lightly.
Understood, but unless you want another war front with some of the unless you want another war front with even more of the independent colonies that contract us.
Might I ask a last question before we make our leave? The Hell Knights have not been generous with information, and now I'm curious as to what sort of activities a criminal could do that could warrant such a response. I don't think I am being paid well enough.
Give me a bluff check here, because you're clearly lying through your teeth.
You're
Should've had-
clearly.
I mean, no. He's like, what did you say your name was again, sir?
Sir, sort of. I mean, what?
I'm actually gonna. Can I try to intimidate him with my vampire voice?
Not over the comms.
Damn. Sorry, I'm thinking. God, who is the guy that?
And Tavish, you're on the computers. They actually scanned you, and they've got your transponder signal number.
What's the guy that Slef tried to kill, but it was just like a clone or whatever?
Rex Tolak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The name is Captain Rex Tolak.
You're also a wanted criminal.
Fuck, I did not know that. As he would have, I would not.
Yeah, as you
'Cause
would
I'm
have.
an idiot.
Would you like to come up with something else?
Yeah.
Because that is clearly that Ezzy would know that.
My name is
I'm
Captain.
a wanted criminal.
My name
However,
is Captain Jaren Aradal.
all right, give me a bluff check here.
Come on, roll better than a 6.
Man, I wish I could do the bluffing.
That's a lot better than a 6.
It's pretty good. Let me see. Let me give him a slash R1D20 plus, we'll say 4. Yeah, he's like, and what was that again? Captain what?
Jaren Aradal.
Captain Aradal? How did you come to be in possession of that particular ship?
Would you believe me? Would you believe me if I said that I won it in a card game?
He says, please hold your position. Our people would like to question you upon the person you won the Spitfire from.
Qualu, I think that's the signal.
You want Qualu to get you the fuck out of there?
Before that, I'm still curious. What could someone do that would possibly warrant this much attention from the Hell Knights? I'm putting myself at a lot of risk, and I want to make sure that I'm being properly compensated.
He said, "You'll understand if we find it a little suspicious that someone flying the Spitfire comes here asking about possibly one of the most well-known terrorists in the system. Captain Volvetto is not. He says, you know damn good, and you should know damn good and well what Captain Volvetto has done."
That's all I needed to know, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yeah, it's one of those that he. Yeah.
Shit, we gave it away.
Yeah, maybe we get that fucking moment afterwards because
Yeah.
you
And
misdirected him enough with your bluff checks that he kind of let the name slip, and maybe like we get the cutscene of like his commander standing next to him who glowers at him and punches him in the fucking shoulder like, you dumbass, you know.
And
He
before
looks like,
before we turn away and use the scram jets to get the fuck out of there, I'm like, and by the by, the name is Esley Soroval, and you've been had.
yeah, yeah, they're
Way
like,
to have 5 red flags go off all at once.
yeah, he immediately like
Princess.
immediately we see him getting on the
Princess has shown
comms.
that he's been basically on a suicide mission this entire time.
Yeah, we see the commander.
And I'm just
we go
like,
back to that
Qualu,
deal.
get us out of here.
Yeah, we see the cutscene where the commander like points at somebody else in the control room, and he's like, "Get me tell those ships to get here on the double." and we have we have the terrorist Ezzy Sorval, and then they and then we cut back to like Qualu looking at you and going, "As you command, we will be gone in a flash," and he punches it, and you fly out of there.
Punch it, Chewie, get us out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
punch it, Qualu, get us out of here. Yeah,
He is a fluffy person, so.
he's furry, so he doesn't talk like that though. So
Nice.
sorry guys, no Chewie here. Just
Nice.
Qualu. And yeah.
Ezzy's just got this very self-satisfied grin on his face, and he's like, I think that went rather well. Don't you?
That was disastrous.
We got the information that we wanted, Tavis. That was what we came here for. And I do not believe that they would keep a terrorist like him locked up indefinitely. We merely need to keep a watchful eye. Besides, if anyone else in the Fire Shrike from the crew is still around, they will be certain to want to know the location of the camera. Take us to... Can you open me a secure channel to whoever it is that gave us the information?
It's gonna take a while to get to him. It's remember, there's no subspace. It's gotta bounce around. It's gotta take time to get there.
Yeah, but I
You're a
just
few
want something
systems away.
secure.
We got OOL email, okay?
You can send him. You can send an encrypted message to him.
Basically, I want to say send him an thing that says, the information you provided was good. If anyone asks after this information now or later, inform them, even if they've already left, of our discovery. We will be at these coordinates. Basically a spot where I'm going to say we should just hold out and wait.
All right. Yeah. And I think, speaking of holding out, let's cut over to Captain Volvetto and his new band of insane weirdos. So, Captain Volvetto, you're on your ship here, and the best leads you've got so far is to continue to go back to Site 87 and hope that everybody else tries to follow up on the leads, on any leads about Rex Tolak, or to try to find some leads yourself on Rex. You also know that the Fire Shrike, when you went before the Shadow of Ever, had a working relationship with Bettina, but you're not sure what became of that relationship. And you also know that you had some business or intel where you had some business with that informant, Tavis's informant connection, ISIG. You are muted, sir.
Sorry, I was chewing crackers. How far away are we from any of those? Like, we'll start with Bettina. How many systems away are we from Bettina?
You are, oddly enough, Bettina, you're actually in the same system with.
Interesting.
Somehow Neverwhere and her people have managed to be right under Bettina's nose.
That's
in a
hilarious.
sense. But it's understandable in the fact that Bettina basically runs a corporate colony and doesn't have a whole lot of influence into the sphere itself. The influence in the sphere itself is more Mastodon mining than Bettina, because Bettina is a functionary for them, but she's not the overall head of operations in the area. It's more like she runs a colony, but it is silly. It does seem a bit silly that Mastodon Mining Corporation can be harassed so much in this system, and nobody seems to have found this little planetoid that they are stationed on.
Yeah, it makes sense. If Neverwhere's people are as good as she is, then, you can hide a planetoid from a corporation for a while.
Or at least hide a civilization on one for.
Yeah. So, we get on the ship. No, we already got on the ship and took off.
Yeah, you are on this new ship. By the way,
I'm supposed to tell her the T-shirt is not hers anymore.
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and, I guess it's pointless till we reach Atmo to send a message. So, yeah, head for these coordinates. Something
Scramjet. Nope.
Scramjet?
Scramjet's your pilot. Tixpit is a insectoid soldier. He looks like a humanoid centipede.
What they are.
Yeah. Well, for those who are watching who may not know, there are two insectoid creatures on the ship, on the Blue Ember with the captain. One is Tixpit, who looks like a humanoid centipede, and one looks a little bit more like a grasshopper or whatever and is more humanoid.
That's Nevecto, right?
That's next Kivo. Kivo
Yeah.
here.
Right, and then Elgas and Vector 113 on engineering.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I didn't give Glycil anything to do.
No, he not really. I mean, like, he actually is kind of like, unless you have something for him to do.
I assume he's probably trying to hang out with Elgas, because Elgas is the most confused person. Well, no, he might hang out with Vector too.
Yeah, because Vector he recognized from the Shadow of
Ever. Well,
that's part of
then
Vector's
all
back.
three of them are hanging out anyway, so.
Yeah, well.
That's good. He can just sit in engineering and be in the way.
So, yeah, you have Scramjet head to Bettina's planet, the planet of Ludus.
I was going to say, technically, I put in this ship has a recreation suite.
Mm-hmm.
It has a holodeck, so he could probably go in there and feel at home. Build himself a program so it has the right humidity and all that stuff.
But yeah, you maybe we see the blue ember as it takes off and goes flying, and we get that. It only takes a matter of hours because it's in the same system. But you manage to get to Ludus, and with the what was the name of the colony there? It was something. Which
Most
I've
things
got
are
my note.
named at least something.
Yes,
That is true.
I do that all the time.
Big boy wisdom.
Kroll. Kroll is the name of the deal.
Get one of those star weapons before we leave. Then.
So,
Ha 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 ha.
haha, Kroll, not Krull, Kroll. CROLE.
That's fine. Spell it however you want.
The
When we hit Atmo, I will send a message to her comms.
yeah, yeah, you get a brief message back of like what an interesting surprise, and and maybe like an inquiry on what like an inquiry on what brings you back around, or maybe an inquiry of like what happened to you, where did you go?
I'd rather speak in person. Go. Should I meet you at the place I was last time?
Yeah, actually she's got the actually she has a place for you to set down undercover. It's outside of the settlement itself.
All right. You know what we didn't take time to do on our little trip here? I never made a motorcycle. So I guess I walked there.
Oh,
Well,
mini group.
actually she and her, like, maybe we
Oh,
see
they come out there. That's even better.
yeah, she comes out with a contingent of her people, but maybe as we see like you entering Atmo, maybe like you get we see several ships leaving and whatnot, and the who was it that was on? No, because Glycil could probably be on computers, I think, and on Science Station, because I'm trying to figure out who to be. Or you could be on Science, it doesn't matter. But whoever's on Science picks up the signature of the Death Hammer as it leaves Atmo.
Ooh.
And it takes off. But you manage to set down and a contingent of fairly armed vehicles, and a group of elite security forces and mercenaries come out. Like maybe it's a column of a few vehicles, and the security people and soldiers and whatnot step out to make sure the area is like secure, with guns up and whatnot, before Bettina steps out, wearing a long black stylish dress, in sort of like that.
Must be autumn.
Yeah,
I miss my dress.
Well, she's been wearing black dress. You've never seen her wear anything but different styles of black dresses of various fashions. And as she gets out to and whatnot, she looks around for a moment, and she said, and her security forces look like super uptight. When you come out to meet her, do you come out by yourself? Do you take anybody with you?
Why don't you guys stay on board? It'll probably be safer that way.
Okay.
Elgas, if they try to kill me, go ahead and shoot at their cars.
Elgas just kind of nods. But we get the shot of Captain Volvetto walking down the cargo ramp.
I don't take any weapons because I don't have any weapons because my weapons were confiscated by the police.
Cool. and Bettina, she
In fact,
strides forward.
I'm still in what at most some crew members' clothes that I had to rip holes into so I could have an extra 2 arms.
I think they probably had at least some clothing on the Rock 242 to give you.
That's
That
true.
were
I didn't think about that.
Kasathan.
So yeah, we're in basically a traveler's outfits, I guess, because I didn't
Yeah.
ask for armor.
Yeah, he's and
Hey,
she.
what's up?
I had thought that you were dead. I didn't think to see you again anytime soon.
I can promise I'm not a ghost.
It appears you. It appears you aren't.
Perhaps it's Phoenix.
So
Ha
what
ha.
happened? I heard about what happened to the Shadow of Ever, but I
Okay,
didn't hear
so
what happened to everyone.
uh, it's quite like the blues. I was captured and put in prison. So it took me 6 months to get out of prison because that's how many favors I had to do to get this far. And while all that happened, I made some really good friends and probably some bad ones. Got a new ship, as you can see,
Yeah.
and Neverwhere sends its regards and says that the T-shirt is hers now.
She kind of like maybe like one of the guards behind her has this moment where like he almost cracks the professional facade and has a bit of a response, but like the almost like he could sense her like her intent or whatever. He immediately like straightens back up and she goes, interesting, so you have met her.
I've met a few variances of her so far. Or it. I don't know. It's confusing. I didn't do, the check every time she came back slightly different.
Okay, so you're free from prison, you're fresh out, and you come to me. What is it that you're looking for here, Mr. Captain Valdezo? What?
Did Nahir manage to finish the job we owed you?
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't even spoke to Nahir himself personally. He sent his representative, your Mr. Dime,
Oh, Tavis.
as quite a charming fellow. I rather enjoy his company. He does tend to enjoy the finer blends of tea and and
Yes.
wine.
Yes, Tavis in space is one of those things that you could put a piece of cola up and in a week have a diamond.
He says,
Hopefully he's acclimated since then.
for the time being, I've given them a little bit of leeway on the job that seemed, given the circumstances.
Oh, I think you might know this of me by now, especially since I've come back from the dead, but I'm looking for Nahir specifically and the rest of my crew. And I was wondering if perhaps you, with all your sources of information, could aid me so I could get back to them, and then I could take care of that job we owe you.
Well, I don't know where your friends are right now. I do know that I have spoken with Tavis more or less recently. Could probably put out some sort of feelers to see where he is now. Last I heard, he was going back to the Fire Shrike, wherever that is, to check in with them. I understand that I understand you lost one of yours. That elf, Ashira. It's a pity. She was a rather interesting woman. I liked her spunk and attitude.
Madam, are you trying to make me angry?
No, I'm wondering if you know what exactly happened. All I've seen is the footage that Captain Cervantic has put out regarding.
Alright, so basically, from my point of view, the shadow of Ever ripped in half, separating me from most of my crew. I then went to retrieve the last remaining person that I required from the shadow of Ever, and managed to do so. in leaving, I got on an escape pod with another member of this new crew that I have, Glycil, and in our escape, we were picked up by the local fuzz of the area who decided that it wasn't worth turning me over to the Hell Knights because they value life of all kinds, even bad guys. And so I spent 6 months in prison, as I said before. Glycil, who is a rather refined person, didn't like it so much. And, well, then I have a new crew. I had them stay on board because you don't know any of them.
I do appreciate that. Strangers do tend to make a businesswoman a bit nervous in situations like this.
Right, and I'm not ready to vouch for their character. Well, except for Glycil and Elgas. But figured I'd check in with you because, well, I'd rather not have two people in Mastodon after my hide. And what
Well,
to do next? I guess since this lead has been more or less I will get back on my ship and go look elsewhere. Please put out the feelers. We are headed in the general vicinity of wherever that tiefling lives, I think is where we'll go next.
Tiefling?
Isaac.
Isaac? Oh, I know Isaac. You're going to Pluvo then.
It sounds like our next best bet. If that doesn't pan out, then when you put out the feelers, have it say, gone to fight rockworms. That should be enough for someone that knows to get where I'll go next.
Fair enough.
I appreciate it, and I will get back to your mission as soon as I have retrieved the rest of my crew.
I will ask some additional favor for the favor granted.
We have been doing this for a while. And eventually I will work up enough favors with you that I will get my favor for Miss LeClaire.
Says, oh, and I'm trying to find that note here for that. Oh, and do feel free to disrupt any of the operations out of the Aramol vicinity. I mean, they work for Mastodon Mining Company too, but anything that helps me increase my profile, of course, helps me increase my chances of helping you. Feel free to disrupt anything on their shipments in the meantime that you can find, or any of their operations. I'll put out feelers for you. I will send you a message. Do I have I'm going to need to get a fresh comms number for you.
Oh, yes.
You have a new ship.
Too. Here you go.
Yeah, so...
I'm glad I remembered your number.
It's like, hopefully this can be mutually beneficial.
Hope so. That's why I came to you first. You're actually my first stop.
She goes, she smiles at that. And she's like, she says, if you don't mind, I've got some very important guests in town, and I shouldn't keep them waiting.
Of course.
Besides, meeting with Cordrum's Loop sub-commander will give you the cover to fly out of here. Says, and
as always appreciated. I bow gracefully.
She gives you a curtsy and she says, "Remember, I do expect fair trade for the cover granted here and for the information in favor." She says,
I will do as much as I can.
And she says,
After all, I have a reputation to bring back up to par.
something tells me that won't be too terribly difficult for you.
Right. In a couple of days, you should see the first propaganda video. It's gonna be great.
And she chuckles and she goes, "Oh, and next time you see Neverwhere, I tell her I said, that I am sorry truly about the way things went down between us, but I can't allow anything to get in the way of business."
Ah, okay. I
Yeah.
can do that.
And she turns around and looks at her people like, "Don't you like?" Almost like she's like, "I dare you to fucking say anything." But they're all kind of like, "Yeah." She goes, and says, "I have business to attend to and a meeting, a bit of a dinner party and celebration. I bid you farewell and I wish you good luck." And
Bye.
she
I climb back aboard the ship, shut the door.
she packs her security forces take back off for our town.
I say, scramjet. Head to these coordinates next.
Yeah, okay, sure, we'll get that done. He says, you gonna let us all know what the game plan is here? You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought my reputation had preceded me in most of this. Neverwhere didn't let you know how this works. I'm gonna pay you guys really good, and we might do some bad things along the way. But I'm a pretty decent guy to be, to work for.
Well, I'm not necessarily worried about the pay. I just kind of figured that going in with our eyes open, I might, we
Oh,
might know a little bit what to expect. And
okay. So
this
how
is the
much?
point where you realize that Tixpit is standing just uncomfortably close to you, behind you, listening to this conversation.
That is uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm. And Tickspit is another bug man.
He's the one that looks like a humanoid centipede.
Okay. Tickspit, is there a reason you're behind me?
He's like, or it, I should say, is like, yes, yes, new mission, just mission, and things to do, do. What are we doing? What are we gonna do?
All right. Let's see.
Oh,
Well, first off, we're going to head to this planet where I have to meet a tiefling.
ooh,
On the
tiefling.
way, should we run across any mastodon ships in this area, you'll get to go boom boom.
Ooh, fight, stab, shoot. Good,
So I want
good.
you to go run diagnostics on all the guns and make sure that we're ready for battle.
Guns, make sure guns go boom, and it skitters off like excitedly having something to do.
All right. Scramjet.
Yeah.
Is there something we need to talk about?
Sort of what the game plan is. Otherwise, I don't know.
The game plan at the moment is I would like for you to fly us to this place. Whereupon, hopefully, I will gain ample knowledge of where my other crew is at. We will rejoin forces, and then, well, I have to do some jobs for that lady. I know you were watching the whole conversation. You're not very good at controlling the cameras, are you? And, two, so far you've proven to be an excellent asset, and I think you should buy the ship.
Okay. He's like, all right, I'm just kind of, making sure we're all on the same page. I don't like being left in the dark. And he's like,
Under no circumstances would I, as a free captain, even a recently freed free captain, just, you know, not pay you. I will do everything that is required, and if you prove yourself to be a loyal crewman, I will die for you, and you will die for me, because that's how this runs. If you prove yourself to be disloyal, then I will attempt to kill you. That's just, basic.
Wow.
I reassure him with a smile.
He does not seem terribly worried about the or I will kill you part, because I mean he kind of works in these kinds of circles, so he's like, yeah, he says, I'm fairly certain, but we out here may have only the loosest association with the free captains, but we all know the score. Once the captain orders you to fight when you're in flight, we were supposed to fight to the death. Well, I'll
My
hold to
moral
that.
compass tries to point to center. So just keep that in mind. I will be good to you if you're good to me. If you listen to orders and don't cause too much craziness, you get paid well. If it becomes too much of a problem, if I need to, I'll take you back to Broken Rock and drop you off there. Because as a free captain, that's kind of how it works.
Well, he says, my moral compass points to pay me well and don't put me in any unnecessary danger over something stupid, and we're good. Yeah, we can't hear you. Yeah.
Whoops.
About now.
There you go.
So, right now, the basic plan is we're going to fly to this planet, and I will go talk to this dude. You should not be in any danger. Elgas is my friend. Treat him accordingly. He's a good guy. He'll do anything you want him to. Give you the shirt off his back if he needs to. Once we meet up with the rest of my crew, I will give us ample armor, guns, and we'll be better equipped to deal with anything that we might actually come up against. Because honestly, right now, I have a slight bonus because of my happy yellow glow, but we're still basically naked, and I get shot at way too often to be this naked.
He's like, yeah, well, I can kind of understand that. All right, well, we're off to the next spot then. All I needed to know is that he's going to get paid well and put in the middle of something for no good reason.
Right.
And yeah, he kind of goes over, heads over to Con and goes to fly and sets to taking off and what have you. Yeah. And I think and I think we cut back at this point. Let's cut back to the street and Slef, Andrea, and Lysin.
What's the cop presence looking like?
You can actually hear sirens as they're coming this direction.
I look at Lysin, I'm just like, alright, you know what? We need to just table this, because at this point, if we get in a fight, we're both going to get arrested, and I'm probably going to get extradited either to the Pack Worlds or to the Hell Knights, and neither of those are good for me.
You're wanted by the Hell Knights?
Yep.
That's where the bounty's from.
Killed a lot of them. They're real shitheads.
That puts a smile on her face. You know, Rat Boy, we might be friends.
He looks there and goes, what? Sudden Alright, whatever. Well, listen, I suppose I'll probably see you on that ship. So, smell you later, nerds. And he's just gonna jet dash in the opposite direction of the fucking sirens.
Just like in this picture, like fucking Slef just taking off in this power. That's great. At this point, you're at this point, like you're kind of in the streets, and you actually, Lysin, get a buzz on your communications.
You gotta look at it.
And it's Captain Masal. Like, hey, we found. He's like, hey, we meet us at. You meet us at blah blah. Because like we need to talk.
I just respond back. It's like, okay,
Okay.
Drea, this way. Let's go.
Following.
Yeah. Okay.
Cap's found something, I think.
All right. Yeah. So you get back. Where was it? There is. Here. I need to put. Hold on a second. Find the name I had written down. Oh. Yeah. There you go. You managed to make your way to the park, and it's a decent park. I mean, it's actually this whole place, Pluvo, is a pretty decent. It's more metropolitan, so it looks. There are a couple of skyscrapers and some stuff and whatnot, and the parks are like clearly well maintained. They have people for that. And when you get to the when you get to the when you get to the park, you see Captain Masal and Corporal Savase, and they're standing there with a Lashunta in the. They're standing there with a Lashunta that is. They're standing there with a Lashunta that you don't exactly recognize, and Captain Masal waves you over when he sees you.
Yeah, I wander on over. Just no.
And Captain Masal looks at you and he's like, "All right, got some news." He was like, "This is Quotaval. He's a representative of the Castrovellian government. He's been in the system for a while. Seems he's had a few problems of late, but he knows where the rest of the refugees, the rest of the survivors are. And we have orders from command. Corporal Savase and I are going to return to the rest of the refugees, try to help them find a place. But there's no helping our people right now. We need something big. We need to kind of help we need weapons. Clearly, we need a lot of weapons and a lot of equipment. We don't have enough to fight on right now. And in this system, there's a lot of places we could go to that, but none of them are particularly friendly. The Vitari Tech, we don't want to be in their pockets. Mastodon, they're a mining corporation. Some of the black market guild places around here might be worthwhile. But Quiltaval here, the message he's brought us from command, I'm giving you a mission, Corporal. The best arms manufacturers in this system are tied to the Fire Shrike. I need you to find it. The command has issued orders that we need to make contact with them and see if we can't get them to supply us with weapons to fight. We don't dare trust the Tabora Union or the Tabora United at this point, and most of the independents aren't willing to sacrifice much to help us.
You know what the best part about that is? She almost got in a giant fight with the chief engineer of the Fire Shrike.
No way.
Yep, there's reasons for these things. It's like says your mission is to find the Fire Shrike, Corporal Lysen, and to secure their help in arming our people. We can't fight the Hell Knights. We can't defend ourselves without the weapons we need.
So now we resort to dealing with terrorists.
Don't have a lot of choice in the
Seen
matter.
worse.
They seem to be they seem to not be, well, they have no love of the Hell Knights, clearly. I'm hoping the murder of one of their own by the Hell Knights will give them plenty of incentive to help us out here. Sure, a common enemy, strange bedfellows and all that.
I looked at Lashenta. Do you know of the Black Rat?
Queltal goes, the Black Rat, and he goes, of course, everybody knows about the Black Rat. He's the chief engineer of the Fire Shrike, Slef. He was behind the bombings on Versace and the several explosions and much of the mayhem at the Hollowvid Awards last year. Also, he's wanted in connection with a number of other high-profile crimes. Murder, terrorism, conspiracy to commit sabotage, you name it. In fact, the Hell Knights
Lacey just face palms herself.
in fact, the Hell
Oh,
Knights have
God.
a death penalty for that one. It's clearly known that if either Captain Volvetto or Slef are captured, they'll be executed. The rest of them, we're not entirely certain. One could assume an unfair trial, but I doubt the other two would make it to trial.
I think I just met him.
You met.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, I nearly got into a bar fight with him.
Oh, what?
I just smile at the captain.
He's like, well, then clearly your mission is to catch up with this Slef, and hopefully he can lead you to the Fire Shrike, and make some kind of deal for weapons production. They have facilities, and clearly the skill at engineering.
Yeah,
you want it?
I will.
And that whole time that he kept saying we're going to be on the same ship, you were like, well, I'm actually where I was going at this point. Now
I
it's
think I
kind of
want to
like,
be on that ship.
yeah, now you have a reason. You know where he's going to be. You don't know where he's at right now, but you know where he's going to be eventually.
Okay, I guess back into the city we go.
Yeah, and it's like, and you have Captain Jakara's number too, so.
So yeah, I bid the captain farewell, good luck, and I start walking off.
Drea, what do you make of all of this exchange here? You're standing there, you're well aware that you just almost got into a fight with one of the people that they've now ordered her to license to look for.
I was cheering it on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's I found it quite entertaining.
So,
I'm kind of sad and disappointed that it didn't happen.
yeah.
My money's on the bird.
So yeah, maybe the expression we can see from Drea's eyes essentially is just that sort of like, isn't that ironic kind of amusement then? Is that what I'm getting here?
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. I love it. Nice. Cool.
Yeah, so I get a hold of the ship captain, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'm going to tag along with you guys for a bit.
He's like, he kind of laughs and he goes, you know that rat's going to be on the ship with us, right?
Oh, I'm counting on it.
Keep it to, if you're gonna be fighting, keep it to knives. I don't want any holes in the side of my ship. His people are known for things like that.
Yeah. Whose previous
Really,
character is known for
I
that?
have not. They're known for blowing out sides of ships. Like, what are these?
Yeah, they're known for explosions.
Okay.
I'm King Boom.
King Boom.
Hi, King Boom.
I'm not calling you that.
I'm not calling you that.
So when and where?
Yeah, well, I'm probably leaving. I might be leaving as early as tomorrow night. Maybe sooner than that. Haven't heard anything from Sluff yet. I don't know how soon he's wanting to leave. We don't have a particular agenda at the moment.
The way he acted when the police were, when the security was showing up, I think he'd be sooner than later.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know as soon as he's made contact. And we start and we figure out and we arrange for departure. There's still boarding supplies from the ground crews at the moment and refueling.
All right, I'll wait for your comm.
Yeah. Slav, you are running from the law enforcement.
Yeah, as I'm dashing, I've called Jakarez, like on my comms pad, and I've like as I'm like sprinting and using my jetpack to like maximize mobility to get away from these guys.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, Captain Jackie, so there's a big crowd that happened to see me, and cops were on their way, and there's gonna be witnesses. And, can I just stay the night on your ship or something like that? Then we leave as soon as possible. I can help load everything in. I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty.
I think Jakarez just chuckles at you and goes, he's like, he says, "Got a little too hot for you."
Nothing's too hot for me, I just don't want to get, assassinated by Hell Knights. So anyway,
He says, "Let me call our other. Let me." He says, "This should be interesting. One promise I need from you:
what's that?
no explosions on my ship."
Oh, come on, Jackie. You know me. I'm not gonna.
That's why I said no explosions on my ship.
He's like, yeah, okay, you know what? You have a fair point. The last one was Shaba. The ever was Shaba. Okay, well, just with the shadow was Shaba. I tried to help fix that one, actually. You know what? Actually, well, okay, I'll meet you at the ship.
What the? What the?
How hot on my tail are these cops, by the way?
You managed to stay out of their visual range.
Okay.
It's like that thing like in Grand Theft Auto where they're still looking for you in a certain radius, but they don't see you yet.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm ducking through alleyways and shit, like following my adaptive GPS to be like, okay, best way to get to the ship and not get spotted, please. I'm this bucket. I could be moving faster if I rode on bucket.
But yeah, you are able to find your way back to the ship.
Yeah.
Lysin, almost immediately after hanging up with Jakarez, well, maybe not immediately after, like a few minutes after you hang up with Jakarez, you're like, you just get done talking to Masal, like you're in the middle of finishing your conversation with Masal and Taval and Qual Taval, and you get a comm message from Jakarez. Actually, you get basically a text message from Jakarez. It's all good whenever you're like we've basically, yeah, we're probably gonna be leaving soon.
I guess something's come up and I have to make my adieu.
He says,
You want to tag along,
Missile-
Drea?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, yeah, there's a. You definitely are headed back. You're headed in that direction, and let's take a moment to cut back to Ezzy and Tavis as you guys are gathering towards the Death Hammer. Ezzy and Jakarez, you've learned that Captain Zai, you have managed to confirm that Captain Zai was taken to Penal Colony 1187. So whether what that looks like, if he's still there, how long he's been there, all of that stuff is kind of up in air. But you can also gather that the Hell Knights have been asking this penal colony for extradition for a while and have been getting denied.
Interesting.
I mean, all we can really do right now is wait, can't we?
Yeah.
And Ezzy, give me a fortitude save.
Oh no.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
He's
but
still dying.
Nope. Not today.
Nope.
You
You feel a little exhausted from the encounter with Penal Colony 1187. You're a little tired.
Being a known terrorist takes it out of you.
You know? Are you guys going anywhere particular? Are you going to go back and check in with the Fire Shrike? Or are you just finding a place to hang in space? What does this look like?
Oh, we're gonna probably need to go back to the Fire Strike because we're gonna be waiting. Wait, we weren't on the Fire Strike. What were we on?
You're on the Spitfire.
Spitfire.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. We'll probably meet up with the Fire Strike and then go to the waiting spot that we sent out to. Was it Isig? Yeah. We told Isig.
Right. All right. Cool. And I think as far as you guys are concerned, you have Rogo and Qualu with you. And did you take Rek with you too, or no? I don't remember.
Yeah, we took Rek.
Okay, you took Rek also.
I just realized, Bucket is still on the Shrike.
Yes, he
So,
is.
You can take him on mission. He's an effective fighter.
Except none of them can repair or control him.
That is fair.
None of them can do anything with him.
I'd like to believe that Bucket just roams the hallways cleaning things and
Oh, yeah,
occasionally going, remember, deep breathing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we absolutely hate it.
Yeah. He did Bucket.
Because like
Bucket's
it'll be
not
like
wrong.
it'll be like at 4 in the morning or whatever our sleep cycle is, and then just remember, deep breathing.
Bucket is the
Be
kind of
calm
thing.
like
Yeah.
the ocean.
Just constantly banging into a wall like a broken Roomba.
Oh no, he'll be effective. He'll clean everything real well.
Yeah.
He doesn't
He's-
bump into shit, and he probably only talks whenever
How
he
does-
walks by something.
How does he clean things? Does he have a manipulator arm?
Yeah, he does have a manipulator
Okay.
arm. And I'd like to believe that just for aesthetic purposes, he has one of those like floppy spinning mops on the bottom of him.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. Yeah, it's that thing where nobody can decide what to do about Bucket, and at the same time, nobody's willing to do much about it. And Bucket has probably like come into the room while there was an argument going on and started playing soothing music, and everybody kind of
Smooth
just did that
jazz.
thing where they were like, everybody kind of did the thing where like they look over at Bucket like, God fucking damn it, you know, and go back to arguing. you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, but Tavis, I think Qualu probably. Actually, I think Rek probably says like would approach you and be like, so Mr. Dime, and he does this. He catches you while you're alone. He's like, I got some questions here. you seem to be one of the few reasonable people left on the ship. I'm not entirely comfortable with the sort of, well, what we've been doing. It ain't right. It ain't moral. It ain't just. You think, you know, you think this is ever going to smooth out? Are we ever going to, you know?
Is this motherfucker challenging my captainship?
Captain Chip.
He's
Is
actually
this,
challenging a bit of everybody. I mean, really, the only person he sees on the as being outside of Melanie as being, and possibly Bucket, if Bucket counts as being reasonable, is Tavis, because Nahir is obsessive and clearly has violent tendencies. Nurks, her attitude is just shitty with everybody lately, and Ezzy has turned into a full-on terrorist. So all of them are in the morally dark gray at the very least, if not morally black. They haven't been doing, and in essence, he's a good guy. You know, he has a sense of duty, but he's starting to question who his loyalty is to at this point, because
Without the captain, the Fire Shrike just does terrible shit. The captain, like, kind of evens it all out because he's a dreamer. You know, the rest of these people are just dead end moneymakers at this point.
yeah, well,
Somewhat. Or vengeance machines.
vengeance machines
The
probably
captain is the heart of the
describes a couple.
crew.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but yeah,
This,
go ahead.
this is Rec talking to me?
Yeah, this is Rec
Yeah.
talking to you.
I was like, I thought you said Qualu, but I was like, this is Rec's voice, so.
No, I started to say Qualo, and then I said, you know what, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Like, how do you respond to Rec's concerns here?
I just kind of pat down my clothes a bit as I do. I'm just like, well, I hope that upon finding the captain, we can get back to the way we were, and not have to worry about the chaos that has taken control of the ship.
Do you really think he's still alive out there somewhere? I mean, that was a pretty big explosion of ship.
Would you really imagine he would die in a situation like that?
Well, I don't know. Organic peoples tend to die kind of easier than,
Organic peoples.
you know. I don't mean to be, insensitive, but
I completely understand. From what I've gathered on the ship, the people here are very durable.
I mean, I don't agree with the Hell Knight's means of getting there, but and I don't always agree with their sense of justice, but there may be some justification in calling us villains.
Clearly.
God bless you, Rick.
The things that have been done by this crew are definitely morally dark. It is my hope we can turn things around. It's the main reason I stay on board.
Says,
Have
Well,
you both shot out an airlock?
I hope you're right. Just, keep fighting the good fight. What is it that you humans say, or what is it? Well, humans. What is it that you organics like to say? I have your back.
That would be most appropriate.
He's like, he looks like confused. He goes, "Oh, by the way, I picked up a new type of coffee on the last stop off. It's rather popular in a few of the independent colonies. I just made a fresh pot. Would you mind telling me if it's any? I mean, I don't exactly experience these things the way the rest of you do."
I would be pleased to.
Yeah, maybe we cut the scene with the two of you heading off to the mess hall, and I think we jump back from that, and we get a bit of a flashback here. And we see in this flashback, it says 6 months ago. And we see the corridors and the halls of the Shadow of Ever. And we see the that meeting just sort of like from a passerby perspective from a distance, where they told where like Shaba and Volvetto and stuff were told they were the only ones summoned to see Dr. Tallet. And we see several workmen. We see several workmen and several mercenaries, like walking around as going about their business, and the camera follows one. He looks like a rather nondescript workman, and we don't really see much of the front of it. Camera follows him from behind, and we see him as he passes through the hallways, leaving the docking bay area, and wandering through like the various hallways in the Shadow of Ever, and come into the docking bay, and we see him make small conversation. Like there's like one of the guards down there is like, "Oh, hey, what you doing, man?" And it's like, did you see did you hear about the blowout earlier on the in the canteen? It's like, it's a hell of a mess. Some of those mercenaries. It's like, and we hear a voice come back. Indeed, it was a very interesting rumor. It was a very interesting showdown, from what I understand. To be sure, is subjuncture 55A still has anybody gotten to juncture 55A yet? And the voice is like, no, man. The work order said you're supposed to be the one doing it, so you're the one doing it. And we see the worker go, yeah, really. It's like, awesome. By the way, did you check out? He's like, by the way, you owe me $20. The gate. He's like, oh yeah. Glum Puckett versus Kroll. That last game, man. Wow. I didn't think Kroll could pull. I didn't think Glum Puckett could pull out the win, but you were right on those odds, man. And then we see him walk through this doorway, like maybe there's 20 credits exchanged, and we see the individual we're following walk through the doorway and pull out his tools. And as he walks to the juncture and he starts pulling out, like opening his tool case and pulling out the tools, that's when we just fade out. And we have come to the end of the session.
And that went fast tonight, it felt like.
It
I
really
know.
did.
Well, because I've got you guys in so many different places, jumping back and forth between everyone, it's kind of like changed the structure a little bit. It makes it feel like it's going by faster.
I miss my crew.
We all
We
miss
miss
you.
you.
Yeah, we're moving in directions, so
I know,
you
we'll all
know.
meet up, but
Sort of.
I want to have Sleph interact with New Ezzy, because New Ezzy is just so like grimdark, and I want Sleph to
God,
just be
New
like,
Essie's
"What
about
the
to
fuck's
give
wrong
me a
with you?"
migraine. I can't do this. At this point, I'll take Gross off. Like, I can't.
New Ezzy
I
is
can't
growing
deal
on me
with
like
New
a wolf.
Ezzy.
Let's.
I'm
So,
used to the old Ezzy.
Oh no! So let's. So everybody start mailing me your Player's Choice Awards, and we'll get to doing the sign off. And why don't we start with Tavis? Let's start with Daniel here.
Tavis.
Well, I'm Tavis. I totally have my speech ready. I thought we were all giving it today. So.
Oh no, we're gonna break it out between the episodes.
I forgot.
So
I have next week. Yeah, you can catch me. I'm Tavis. I am the diplomat envoy / operative / glue that's trying to hold the crew together. You can catch me.
Cute that you think you're glue.
I am glue, and you are rubber. What bounces off you sticks to me. Oh wait. Is on Tuesdays. The Sleepy Boy with a Snake. Sorry, I'm also trying to send my vote. And on Thursdays for Stram decks, you can catch me as Johan, the rogue with very poor sense of material value, and instead values the story and memories behind objects. And then for, oh god, there's a lot of games, sorry, Saturdays, many Saturdays, you can catch me this Saturday for Jesta's Grab Bag. Whatever we do, I hope to be there.
Yeah,
I don't see
you
it.
shall be bear.
I'm gonna be bear. Oh, I'm gonna bear the boulder breaker. And then if we ever do Flesh and Fire, I'll be Harbinger, and whatever else, I'll be whatever else. And then on the opposite Saturdays, my own campaign, Spark of Fate, where I'm enjoying DMing way too much, guys. I thought I'd hate it. It was the one thing I never looked forward to.
It just depends. If you have a good group, it's always awesome.
Yeah, it really is. You guys make it amazing. So thank you. And yeah, that's everything.
Let's move on down the road. Let's go to Brian.
Yes, I'm Brian. I'm playing Lancy, the strict soldier who will eventually probably become friends with Slav in a sort of love relationship.
They've got that thing going on where they both can throw jabs at each other, you know?
Oh yeah, easy. And on Tuesdays, you can find me playing, at the moment, the Sakura, the fun-loving, boomerang-wielding, pink-hair halfling. And on Thursdays, in the Legends of Stramdax, I play Hadra, the Johnny that is slowly learning that this is not home. So she better smarten up. And yeah, and any one-shots that I'm able to make it to, those Saturdays are not the easiest day for me at the moment, but yeah, we try. And yeah, let's pass it on.
All right. You're up, buddy.
James.
Huh?
He said you, but
well, he cut out. Okay,
yeah.
So
Sorry.
don't give me
no.
give me none of that guff.
We're not giving you guff. Just do your outro.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for James. Dun-dun-dun.
I hope for no lows. My name is James, also known as Knightheart. You guys need to hear something who says like all the guys.
Jesus. Do you
it's
have
like-
a stroke?
As Lily Sorval, the former good boy turned bad boy, and everybody seems to hate him. Or at least hate how he is brooding 1990s Batman poetry levels. Can also catch me here on Tuesdays where I'm the DM of Realms of Refuge, in which case they are still in the cave of bad things, trying to find the legendary retirement home to kill the 3 old ladies.
We're in the lobby, okay?
Yeah, and you killed the cook.
Yeah, we did.
Thursday, I am in the Legend of Stramdex, or Legacy of Stramdex. Legend, Legacy, whatever. Where I get to play a literal cat who is still wondering who the hell stabs a cat. Can also find me here sometimes on Saturdays. Definitely all the time in Spark of Fate, in which I play. Oh god.
Marin Farcaller.
Marin Farcaller. I'm very tired. I haven't slept in like 20 hours. Yeah, Marin Farcaller, who everyone makes fun of because he's a big dope.
No one's made fun of Marin. You make fun of Marin. Stop it.
Sorry, the dope was taken by Failnor.
Fuck, nobody can talk today.
It's a whole group of dopes. And also sometimes whenever we get back to Flesh and Fire, where I'm playing, knowing the adorable little just ripped someone's eyes out with his bare hand sociopath. And it's me.
I love how that's adorable murderer. That's great. And I still need your player's choice vote,
Oh.
James.
Whoops.
Captain, go.
Hi, my name is Captain Zai. I'm a 6'4" Kasathan, and I play here on Monday night with the rest of these people. Yeah. My crew is scattered to the four winds, and we need to get back together. Together, we are whole. Separate, we'd fall apart. Sorry. Anyway, this is my favorite day of the week. I love playing with these people. They all do a great job, and our GM is amazing. And we really don't give him enough credit. He really puts a lot of heart into this. But besides that, my friend Purple Kodak sells t-shirts at tpublic.com, and they are awesome t-shirts. And we actually have a separate jingle just for her. Go ahead, James.
Oh, God.
Purple Codex merchandise, t-shirts and more. Epically made, not ethically made.
Tonight's episode was also brought to you by Board Spoons and Bitches. It's food worth dying over. And also by Not in Nina's Porn Emporium.
If you want it, then you've seen it. Alright, not in Nina's day.
Dang!
Alright, and on to Purple Codex.
Oh, God.
Oh, I love it.
I'm Purple Codex. I'm here every Monday night with these idiots.
I love you too.
Oh my God. There's a lot of Drea's kind of I don't know, man. Jesus Christ, hold on, I can't hear. They're playing a very loud alert in my chat.
Yes, that happens in your chat.
Oh, it's like, wait a minute, I can't hear anything. Anyway, I don't have any announcements. Oh, ooh, actually I do. I think I went over this the other day. Shut up. I am now full-time streaming, so my schedule is going to change. It is not on my scenes right now, and it's not updated below the stream yet. Working on that. I will update that as soon as possible. As for the next stream, it will be tomorrow, probably 10 to 6, 10 to 4, 10 to 6. It depends on what I have to do as an adult. Yeah, to adult.
Adulting is awesome.
Adulting is. Hey, adult. Anyway, I'm good to go. I already have my commercial, so.
There we go. Hang on. Mike, that leaves you.
Whoops, I was muted. I even had a great little gag where I was like, "It's me," but now it's funny now. Hi everybody, my name is Mike. Also, win 5 get 1 free. Before I do any of my outro, I just want to say thank you to all the people out there right now. We've been getting bits, which is always fun, which is great. I'm glad we've been getting that. We have 4 subscribers. I would like to thank Rygadon. I'd like to thank Nerdy Gaming Inc. I'd like to thank Deepmar the God, and I am so sorry, but I could not find who the 3rd person was, or the 4th person. When I find your name, which will probably be after the stream, I will give you a shout out on Tuesday. I promise for a fact.
Oh boy, there's just been a mega cheer by someone named Purple Codex.
Thank you, Purple Codex. You are the best. But yeah,
It's $5 whole. Enjoy.
Damn, man, $5 whole goes a long way for someone whose account has $10 whole.
We got an emote.
Mm-hmm.
No, I did.
Wait, you got an emote?
It's a little. It'll go. It's temporary.
Sick. Rad. Anyway, onto my sign-off stuff. You can catch me on Monday nights where I get to play Slef, the now essential to someone's mission bad boy, who definitely don't take no guff off no one, no matter how much bigger they are, and probably will actually kick their ass. Hi! You can also catch me on Tuesdays where I get to play Tifta Libre, who's soon about to commit geriatricide, because I don't like these grandmas. Don't worry, we're killing hags. They're not real people. You can catch me on Thursdays.
Exit people too.
Hank's life matters.
Oh my
You can catch me
God.
on Thursdays where I'm running Legacy of Stramdex, where these folks just found farm evil that
Oh, God,
was not a part of their mission, as far as they know.
Nor do we want it to be.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Jesus.
dangerous place. Jennings, you don't go out to Jennings Farms. Not natural things going on
Jennings.
out there.
Jennings.
They're all vampires.
I'm neither confirming nor denying the vampirehood.
That
So,
means that they are.
that could mean that they're not. I might just be saying like not yes or no. Just
They're vampires.
okay. You can also catch me on Saturdays, where I will be.
Eastern Bloc.
Yes, on Saturdays in Jesta's Grab By will be Eastern Bloc, and I will also be beef. And in Spark of Fate, I'm the crazy little frog man who likes to make people have mushrooms grow out of their eyes. It's real fun. You can catch us, Paradise Theater, on Twitter at Dice Theater, no, at Pair Theater, PAIRTHEATER. You can also catch me. Oh, and follow us there for updates on schedules, new game listings, and hot memes. You can also catch me on SoundCloud. There's SoundCloud/thathoon. That is all caps THATHOON. And God, my list just keeps growing larger. But I also have a Fiverr. Find me under Win 5 Get 1 Free on Fiverr. I'll make your fucking session or campaign. And I've got reasonable prices. Please. I'm so desperately broke. And that'll be me.
Wait, you guys are getting paid?
Awesome.
Make a Fiverr, James. It's easy.
That brings it back to me. First of all, everybody gets 600 experience points for the session. Slef barely scrapes by the win tonight for an extra 300 XP for player's choice.
What was the generic?
600.
Oh,
600 for everybody, and 300 extra for player's choice. So, all right. Well, hello everybody. It is to me. A bit of business here. We are definitely going to start having. I don't know if it's already up or if it's coming really, really soon. We will be having videos up on our YouTube channel, Paradise Theater, where I think the first thing that's going to be out is going to be the season 2 retrospective, and then starting with season 3 stuff. And we'll eventually be getting some of the back archives that we still have from season 2 and a little bit of season 1, but those will be a little farther in the future, I'm sure. With that said, I am Zaraht the Jesta King. You can catch me here on Monday night running this insane group, Fire Shrike, my favorite band of space pirates who are all over the place, and this is so much fun. I love deconstructing the normal way that people play games, the whole never split the party, it's too much work. I'm deconstructing that notion and having fun doing it. You can also catch me on Tuesday nights for Realms of Refuge, where I do a Drunken Bird style with Pitiful, the Drunken Master Kinku. You can also catch me on Spark of Fate on the every other Saturday that we do Spark of Fate, where I am playing Grunum the Gut Fisher, or Barbarian Extraordinaire. And on the days on the Saturdays we're not doing Spark of Fate, you can catch me on Jesta's Grab Bag, where I run various things such as Flesh and Fire, and we're trying to get Legion class